My name is Emmanuel Mideme. I'm a lecturer at the Department of Urban and Regional Planning. I'm a senior university. I've been working a lot with the communities on matters urban planning, settlement upgrading. Recently I've been working in the Kisumu climate change adaptation process, and there is a lot of learning, that has gone on within the community. And this particular exchange program for me has been quite enriching, quite engaging. I've learned a lot, beginning with the fieldwork that took place on Tuesday. Going to the ground and getting to see community groups doing amazing work down there on the ground, work that unfortunately has not been shared, with very many people. So very many people might not be able to, might not be aware of what is happening. But there's quite a lot that is happening down there within the communities, which I hope, could be taken out there so that more people can be able to appreciate what our communities are doing.
We felt that there was a need to scale up innovations and interventions through capacity building of the groups. Waste management and innovation alternatives need improvement. And then we found that there was need for linkages between the funding opportunities and what the groups were doing.
They have mentorship for children. They have a playground that is safe for the children, and they also have a safe space where these children can go and read. They can go and do their homework, and as well as watch television. What they told us is most of the parents around that area are drunkards, so these children may not even have safe spaces at home, so they are not able to read from home most of the time. So this place provides an area where they can go and do their homework and be able to read. Afforestation, the things that they also do, river cleaning and rehabilitation, waste management. They begin from collection, they segregate the waste, they go ahead and reuse what is reusable. We were even able to find ladies at the river washing plastic bags, which they again use for doing other things, and then they go ahead and do recycling of waste. And we are able to learn they even make cardboards out of these waste bags, the already used bags and magunia. They also have a car wash, which is an IGA. They also have public utility land. They also do public utility land rehabilitation.
We learned that the type of waste was different, but then in the stream or the river, we noticed there were minimal pampers. And back in Kisumu, we have a very big challenge with a lot of pampers along the rivers. Then there was a strong stench coming from the river, of which some of us were complaining. You could hear some drum beats, but then how wenyeji hawana hiyo shida. So there was strong stench coming out. It really surprised us. We also learned of the memorial park in Compgreen, whereby they are burying the fetus, and their level of expert, irrespective of what they were doing, they had that knowledge in what they were doing, the expertise. They could explain as scholars, and what we learned, what also surprised us is that these things they're doing practically, and we could see how they're doing it.
The most important thing as a city is to develop that resilience, and this resilience can only be created when we develop what we call a community of practice. When it comes to issues of climate change, everybody's idea is very, very important. And by this doing, the city is really committed towards this process. And we started by, first of all, forming what we call the Climate Change Steering Committee, which comprises of all other sectors within the city of Nairobi. I just want to liken what we have done also in the air quality space. We have been able to map all our stakeholders There are stakeholders who are very strong on air quality monitoring, that is setting up monitors across the city. The others who are also very keen on data analysis, and the other stakeholders, depending on the knowledge they have gone ahead and they've been able to even develop what we call the health effects. Now that we have air pollution related illnesses, what can we do? So by doing that, I want us to replicate the same in this climate change space. We all know that climate change touches almost all aspects of life. So if we can be able to work together and have partners and welcome partners and support them strongly in all their areas of interest, then we can be sitting in this room knowing that we have the right interventions towards climate change.
I want to believe one of the key learning areas is the knowledge that comes from all these activities, because when the communities are involved in generating the knowledge, the data that they need to make a difference in their settlements, then there's that sense of belongingness that comes with it, one, and then there's the knowledge, because we had a few our youth commending the whole activity around vulnerability mapping in Kisumu. And one of the things they were saying is that what they learned during the exercise is not something they could have picked out of any class. So being on the ground and doing it practically gives them the knowledge which they can also equally share with others. So that is one of the differences, that's one of the advantages. The next advantage is the sense of ownership, being able to own the kind of information that they've gathered by themselves. That really, really is important, because that is the beginning of the success of any project within the communities. So being able to own the data, being able to own the information, being able to own the progress is very, very important.
Are we able to see that the city has a majority that is neglected, marginalized, and that with the effects of climate change are most at risk? Are we able to see that? And that's what the whole purpose of our existence as SDI Kenya and Muungano has been, to actually try and bring to sense the visibility for people to see, to understand that actually where you live in your good neighborhood, probably next to that neighborhood, there are majority residents who experiences various climatic change effects that we all know. They are diverse. So that journey, Muungano went as far as now talking about voicing, and that's why the slogans, voicing. People want to be heard, and the good constitution in Kenya has allowed that, because the county governments have been enabled now to tap into the voicing, the contribution of communities, the participation of communities. And for us, again, we keep saying, who are we really bringing on board on the table to be heard? Who is making the decisions? Are we leaving out the communities? That's why the whole approach on data collection, collaboration with the academia, so that we're able to create a narrative and to structure and set the agenda for the city. But the agenda that is set by the Christines, the Nancys, the Rodas, by the community members themselves. That agenda setting as a part of the voice has been very critical in our journey.
I want to appreciate our partners, SDI, for organizing this knowledge exchange workshop. And I want to really acknowledge the other partners who are really working with us as a city, especially the academic institutions, who are also part of this program, where we have been able to learn several practices which are happening in our sister cities. This workshop has been very exciting. It has been mind-blowing, and we have been able to know that there are other things which the city is not maybe undertaking in the same space, which can be replicated in our city. And we'll be able to use the knowledge which we have gained from this workshop to be able to enhance our capacity as a city and scale up some of those projects and programs from our local communities. This is a workshop whereby we have been able to witness local-led solutions towards climate change and adaptation. And it has been exciting to know that from the local communities we can be able to develop models which can really help us mitigate impact of climate change. We can be able to model plans which can be really very instrumental in terms of fighting climate change in our communities.
From the information we have is that we have informal settlements that are either located in public or private land, and in most cases there is the aspect of insecure land tenure. We also have the aspect of housing condition being very poor or deplorable, and access to basic services such as water and sanitation is also wanting in most of these informal settlements. And you could also see that there is also inadequate access to both also education and health services in these settlements. We've been talking about the river regeneration, the river rehabilitation. We've been talking about Nairobi River Commission. 90% of these informal settlements are located on the lowland areas, mostly along the riparian reserve. And you can see an example of this is Nairobi River with the informal settlements lined just along the river, and the other one being Mathare River with the informal settlements also lying just along the river. But if you can look at it carefully, it's not only the informal settlements which are located along the river. We have also areas that are also formal settlements, or areas that are also of commercial uses like markets. We have Gikomba market also along Mathare River, part of Mathare River. But if you look at the issues that also contributing in terms of affecting the condition of the river, we have communities who have encroached into the riparian reserve, both the formal areas and the informal areas. So it's not just the slum areas. So we usually say the slum dwellers are the issue, but if you look at it, including the markets, they are located on the river riparian land. So we have also the solid waste being dumped into the river, as we had seen and witnessed during the first day of this workshop. All those conditions that we've identified. But then what we also noticed, or what we also realized, I think when we started this program, is that there are already local organizations or local groups who have demonstrated some locally led solution, and these locally led solutions are in different areas. We have those in solid waste management. I think we interacted with a number of them. We have those in urban farming, producing food for communities and for children to use in their community. We have groups who have been able to convert waste spaces into productive public spaces and parks, like transformers we visited the other day. We have also ecosystem greening, those who are able to rehabilitate the river riparian, among others. So we have so many of those kind of intervention.
The knowledge that communities have in terms of solutions that they can do within their areas. There's a lot of indigenous knowledge that exists between communities, and that we should appreciate when we're talking about planning or talking about climate action. And then also the importance of cross-learning, because we saw when we went to some of the groups that some of these groups have taken up initiatives because they have learned from other initiatives that are ongoing. So the importance of knowledge sharing and cross-learning between peer-to-peers, that is the savings groups or institutions, is very key. And lastly, it was good to hear about some of the plans that the government has, the county governments of Kisumu and Nairobi. We hope that they will, the commitments that they made because they made some commitments to say they will support these groups. We will keep on pushing that some of these commitments are fulfilled, and we hope that they'll continue to support the initiatives that are ongoing within the communities, and especially the ones led by the...
I wish to thank the Kisumu County. I also would wish to thank the Maseno team, because when we talk of co-production of knowledge, the community has learned so much from them in terms of, data collection, in terms of GIS mapping and all that stuff. They really come through for us. So I'd wish to thank the Maseno team, and we still look forward to more connection and more learning. I'd wish to thank the Muungano members of Kisumu and the entire community, from the informal settlements. Every member of the informal settlement of Nyalenda, of Manyata, of Obunga, of Bandani, we've had immense support from the membership, and I would wish to really thank each one of them for their input individually and collectively. I'm so grateful for SDI Kenya because of the support that we continually have from them, because they are the parents we run to, and are able to get technical support. You're able to get advice, you're able to get all manner of support as long as we ask. So thank you so much to every person. The KYC TV cannot be left out for what they are doing. Amazing, amazing job. Thank you so much.